Last night, our deputies did receive a phone call that actually came to this ferry dock launch to an employee here that a male was on the island and had stabbed his girlfriend. At that time, he had a child with him, and that child ended up going to a neighbor's home, and neighbors found the female with multiple stab wounds in their front yard, and several neighbors had attempted to provide life-saving measures on that 26-year-old female, and unfortunately she was pronounced deceased. During that time, we had deputies en route that had to catch the ferry here behind me to get onto Ketron Island, and when they arrived, they did confirm that she was deceased. And then before the deputies had arrived, we do believe the male suspect drove his vehicle off the ferry dock on Ketron Island, and the vehicle has sunk. So right now we have a very complicated scene where we have a crime scene from the stabbing, and then we have a child at the neighbor's house that's being held there until we can get CPS to take custody of the child. And then we also have a vehicle that has sunk at the bottom of the water, and that vehicle hasn't been located yet, and it's unknown if that male suspect is in that vehicle, and that's what we're trying to determine right now.
So you're waiting for a dive team to be able to go?
So we've actually had dive teams already going in there, but obviously it was pitch dark out there. You can see the sun is finally coming up, and this is where most of that investigation is going to start to take place now that we've got better lighting and visuals. We do know that we tried to get a remote operated vessel, which is a robot essentially that goes down into the water to see, but we have there's too much transmission issues with some of the stuff that was on the island that was interfering with that robot. So right now we're not able to use that resource, but we do have our Marine Service unit out there. They are currently still looking for that vehicle, and this will continue on for several hours until we do.
How deep is the off the dock? How deep is that water? Do you have any idea?
It's about 50 feet, but then it can go all the way out to 150 feet. We do believe that the vehicle is out in that deeper water, possibly 150 feet or so at the bottom. So that's what we're looking for.
And is there any idea of how murky, like, is the water pretty clear, or is it tough finding your way through the water?
Well, I was actually just out there. The water is clear right now, but as you get out deeper, it does become harder and harder to see. That's kind of where we're at.
Do we know what kind of vehicle you guys are looking for?
Yeah, so we actually had witnesses. They didn't actually see the vehicle go into the water, but they saw the suspect driving recklessly down that terminal. And then we had several witnesses that heard a very loud crash, and then they had thought that something was floating out in the water. We did confirm there was a vehicle in the water, and we do believe that it is the suspect's vehicle. Just determining whether or not he's in that vehicle or not is what we're trying to get figured out right now.
And I didn't catch earlier, are these people residents of the island?
Yes, they're residents of the island, and you have to understand that Ketron Island is a small community of 10 to 15 residents that live on that island. So everybody knows everybody type of situation, and so a lot of people have a lot of input into this investigation that's going on right now.
And there's no services, like there's no, those neighbors that were trying first aid, that's just neighbor helping neighbor.
Yeah, and you have to realize too that our deputies have to catch a ferry to get out to that island to get services, and so our response time is not immediate for a situation like this. So a lot of these deputies or a lot of the residents that live on the island understand that, and fortunately there were some residents that lived on this island that were first responders, but even with all of the life-saving efforts that they had made, the stab wounds were pretty significant.
And while you're searching for the car, is there somewhat of a manhunt taking place just to, if he's not in the car, because he could be on the island somewhere, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, we've definitely asked for surrounding people to keep a lookout and just to be on the lookout and be alert, but we do suspect that he's likely in the car, but we're not taking anything off the table at this time. And so until we can make a determination if he's in that vehicle or not, we will continue for this search.
And like you said, Carl, it's such a small island. The people know who he is and knew who the girlfriend was as well. Like, they're known to the people. It's not, if they saw him, they would know, hey, that's the guy we're looking for.
Yeah. I mean, unfortunately, this community is a very tight. I mean, it's a good thing that they're a very tight-knit community, but the bad side to that is everybody knows everybody, and everybody's aware of the situation right now and who we're looking for.
I just noticed Tukwila PD show up. You guys have some outside agencies helping with you?
Not Tukwila. We have had TPD helping us. Now, be mindful, too, that there are other ferries that are going to some of the other islands out here as well, and some of those islands belong to those jurisdictions. But TPD has been a good asset, as well as West Pierce Fire, in assisting us with a lot of the resources that we've had, because we've had a lot of resources go into this call in terms of our search and rescue and our dive and our rescue swimmers and our deputies, and we now have a whole team of forensics that are over there right now, and we have 2 crime scenes. We have the residence from where the crime started, and then we have the neighbor's house where the female had been found in the front yard. So we have 2 different crime scenes we're working right now, and it's a lot to process for our team.
So, Carly, she was stabbed at one location and then went to the neighbor's house. Is that the belief?
That's what we understand, yeah. So that is still part of that investigation. We do know that the crime happened in the residence that the male and female were living in, and how she got into the neighbor's front yard is still kind of part of that investigation.